Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be dealing with an RX300 with the dreaded misfire code P0302, which means it's misfire in cylinder number 2. Flashing check engine light, which means it's dumping fuel that could possibly damage the catalytic converter. Well, first thing I did was a normal quick fix to make sure it's not the coil, so I switched number 2 with number 6. The misfire did not follow. So I pulled out the plug, checked the plug. It was very contaminated, filled up with carbon, not firing very well. So I went out and purchased a new plug, put that in. The car ran a little bit better, but not for long. It started misfiring again, and the whole process started again. What it's doing is at idle it misfires, but as you're driving down the street you can't even tell anything is wrong. Power is where it's supposed to be and everything, but when you come to a stop, it's shaking, misfiring, behaving badly. So my guess is that it could possibly be the fuel injector. I'm going to switch probably number 2 with number 6 and see if it follows. Well, I'm going to do a leak down test first, just to make sure that this thing doesn't have a burnt valve. I had one last year where I had to swap these heads out, or head, in order to repair it. So I'm going to do a leak down test first, and if that comes back solid, then I'm going to do a swap with the fuel injectors to see if it follows. Okay, let's get these coils out of the way. Whoa, that is blacker than black and rich. Whoa, same here, running rich. That's actually wet with gasoline. Oh yeah, that's soaked, fouled out. Oh, that's saying a lot right there. We gotta do a fuel rail test. Alright. Let's get this bad boy to top dead center. Alright, I'm getting ready to perform leak down test. Figure out if we got a burnt valve in cylinder number 2. Had one in cylinder number 2 last year. Had to switch out the head. That's no fun on this particular model, but I'm going to test cylinder number 4 first, and go from there and jump back to number 2 to find top dead center. We use the old paper towel method my dad taught me. Take a paper towel, ball it into a shape of the cylinder, stick it down in the cylinder. When it pops out, you know that one's just about at top dead center. At least it's on a compression stroke. Alright. Alright, that should be just about top dead center on little old number 4. Set the screwdriver down in there. Oh yeah, I can see it. It's literally right there at the top. So let's get the old holes in the spark plug hole and see what we got. Okay, let's thread it in. Right now the gauge is at 35 psi. and the cylinder is holding, it's right there. Pressure in is at 30, pressure out is at maybe slightly behind it. At 25, it's at 26, so it's not bad. Let's do good old number 2 next. First things first, get the paper towel. Oh, there it is. For a ride. Alright, shove that down in good old number 2. Take this hose out. Okay. Let's spin it over. She's at top. Yep, she's right there at the top. More damn near at the top. Oh yeah, that's right there at the top. Let's thread on in. Okay, we're back at 30 psi. Let's see what happens. 0. Put some more pressure behind it. That's 40 psi. I'm at 8 psi. Let's crank it up some more. $50, barely 10. 60 psi, right at 10. We have a breach in that cylinder. Let's see if I can hear it coming out the exhaust. Oh yeah. It's coming straight out the exhaust. We got a burnt valve or a broken valve or something's going on in cylinder number 2. Pretty much catastrophic in my book. I gotta pull this cylinder head off. I'm not looking forward to doing that. Okay, already got the throttle body, the battery out, air box, all that stuff was in the way. Pretty straightforward getting that out. Now as far as taking all this stuff apart, it's kind of hard to keep track of things, but it's not as bad as you would think. All the wiring harnesses pretty much have a certain length, and they go right back to that length, or basically what they unplug from quite easily. Same with the water connections and pretty much everything. Now the thing you want to keep track of are your screws. Now what I've been doing, whenever I take something out, I put the screw or the bolt right back into where it came from. So when it comes time to plug stuff back up or attach things, the screws are already there. Certain things you may want to bag, but for me, I just put them right back where they're going, where they came from or where they're going back into. That way it's a little bit easier for me to put it back together. This little plate was right here. It has the vacuum line hooked to it. A couple of grounds, no big deal. Just unplug the variable timing solenoids. A few other things, they'll pop right back into place. Okay, so all these guys just basically unplug. I already got the vacuum lines disconnected. Fighting. Alright. Gotta get the fuel injectors unplugged. They're coming off. Okay. I think I'm going to concentrate Most of them getting this front end cover off right now, so I can start working on the belts. Get that started. The hardest thing I've run into with this particular vehicle, or any of these, is a one intake manifold bolt. It's actually on a bracket that supports the back of this intake manifold. It's a 14. It's right here. You will spend hours trying to get this off. Unless you have the right tools or a lot of patience, or it's been taken off before and it doesn't have a lot of torque on it, you can probably get it off quite easily. But if it's never been done before, this is going to be a monster to get off. It goes back here. You really can't see it, but there's a bracket back here. You have about 1.5 inches of working room, so it's hard to get a wrench on it. But I'll show it in detail once this intake manifold is out of the way. Alright, let's get this motor mount out of the way. Makes it easier to find the bolts later, because they're even right there. And get the wiring harness out of the way. To release that, take this clip and press it out. To release the harness, take this clip, press it forward, pull up. Same here, push it forward, pull up. Same here, press it forward. Sorry, took two hands, pull it up. Alright, let's get this hose off next. Give it a little twist to break it free. It's stubborn. There we go. Taking stuff by air conditioning hose. So she's out of the way. Okay, it's time to pull the timing gears so we can get this head off. Now I got zip ties all around the cog and on the timing belt. See that? Also on the other timing belt and cog. Everything is timed where it needs to be. Also have the bolt in to keep the timing from advancing on that exhaust cam. Alright, so what I'm going to do is pull the gear off, keep tension on it using this bungee cord. So once it's out, I'm going to wrap it around the cog, strap it up here. That way it keeps tension on it, nothing can slip. Okay, here we go. We got the cog off, and we got it strapped with the bungee cord so that it doesn't go anywhere. So the timing will be kept because the timing belt's not moving. so we can go ahead and pull the head. Okay, in order to get the head bolts out, you have to remove the cams. The cams are blocking the head bolts. Okay, here we go. This is the head stud, or one of the head studs I had left over from the last time I did this job. Only did one cylinder head, so I had an extra set of head bolts. It's a 12 point, so you need a 12 point socket, and in this case it's a 12 millimeter 12 point. If you're in a pinch, I guess you could use a 13 millimeter 6 point. It fits it quite snugly also. And the head stud that's up in the front by the timing gear is a number 8. Alright, let's get this taken apart. It smells bad. Oh, gas in that one. Alright. It should be ready to come off. So, detach from the exhaust manifold. I believe I have everything disconnected. So it should be able to lift straight up, and it should come right off. I use the cam journals to lift up and out. All right. Well, look who's not at top dead center. That's at bottom dead center. I should have checked that. That's alright. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Let's go the other way. Nope, let's go this way. Let's see if we got a burnt valve. No, sir. You do not. Oh, yes, we do. There she is. She's hiding. She's right there. Okay, for the most part, get it all back together. Let's see if it starts. Check a few leaks. Alright, let's look again. like it's running. Okay, job is complete. Head's going in the trash. Junk man will be happy to get this amount of aluminum and steel. The car has turned out great. I did switch the fuel injectors from the donor car that I got the head from, just in case there was a fuel injector causing the lean problem or the burnt valve itself. Since the condition of the head that's on here now was in pretty good shape, I figured I'd take those injectors too. That way I guarantee that this won't happen again.